And we're back, folks, with some more Torment. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video here. Been busy working and doing overtime and paying bills and shit. You know, you gotta have electricity to make fucking Let's Plays and shit, so pardon me. You know, I don't live with my fucking mom like some of these other guys. Alright, we're gonna travel southward. Let me bust out my ever-vigilant map. Let's check it out south. La-di-da-da. Now this game has crashed a couple times during the load sequence, so if it does it again, I will shoot my dick off. Just kidding, I'll shoot your dick off. Yeah, we might have a doozy. Alright. Looks like it's nighttime here. Sorry, it's a bit dark. Angry Hive Dweller. Well, fuck him. We're not talking to him. It's angry. This looks like a centaur here. Oh, got some thug shit happening. It's the Thuggish Rogers Bone! Oh, shitload of them. Thugs ain't got shit on us. Get him, Morty. Morty's just eating bitches alive. We are just fucking these guys up. Oh, he's scared. Oh, he's dead. The last thug standing. He's going down. We'll go ahead and search and get our well-deserved loot. You dirty rats. Let's see. Morty can carry a lot inside that little skull of his. We'll go ahead and leave the knife. The knife is behind for some real poor bastard. A battle axe, you can sell that though. Might be worth something. Alright, so after you kick the shit out of the thugs, these guys probably want to leave me alone now that they saw that major amount of ass whooping I performed. Damsel in distress. You see a pretty young woman. Her hair is in disarray and the bodice of her dress is torn. She looks about in desperation and then notices you. Greetings! She runs up to you and grabs your arm. You notice the front of her dress is stained with blood.
Help me, Cutter! Please, they're killing my sister!
She begins to tug on your arm. Who? She looks around wildly.
This drunken man who followed us from the tavern. We thought he meant us no harm. Please, Cutter, there's no time. Help!
Wait, first you say they were killing your sister, and now you say he is killing her. Which is it? She stares at you, unsure of what to say.
I'm distraught. I made a mistake.
She glances at the blood that stains her dress.
Please help me, Cutter.
Now you can examine the blood on her dress here. And basically You'll see what happens. You glance down at the dress and look at the blood. Although it does appear to be real, it's completely dried. It must be hours old. This blood is hours old. What are you up to? You see her eyes flick to the bloodstains and then back to you. You think you can hear a hint of nervousness in her voice.
You're mistaken, Cutter. Please help me. My sister lies dying while we tarry.
And do truth. You're up to something. Tell me what's going on or I'll kill you. She looks into your eyes and then glances at the scars that cover your body. She swallows nervously as you see her pale before your eyes.
I'm supposed to lure people into the alley nearby. They're waiting there to take your chink.
She looks at you apprehensively. Let me give you some advice. She gazes at you in silence and nods her head. Don't pick someone like me as your mark. Choose some drunken fop who looks like he's never seen a battle in his life. She nods curtly and makes sure he looks like he has more than a couple of coins to his name. Now get the fuck out of here. She nods curtly and then backs away from you. She hesitates for a moment and turns to leave.
Thank you, Cutter.
Now that probably turned me a bit more chaotic or evil. I'm not sure, but should have made me more lawful if you ask me, because I told the truth. Got a lot of hookers over here. Starved. Wait a minute. I believe we have a mission for this starved dog guy. Subtie. Starved dog. She asked me to kill 3 of their number to avenge the death. Yep. This guy's gotta die. This wild-eyed man is hunched over, barking and howling at the top of his lungs. Beneath his thick, matted hair, you make out a series of strange tattoos. They run from the range of screaming faces to bizarre geometric shapes, to what appear to be lines of verse. He's almost naked, but the dirt and filth covering him gives him the semblance of modesty. Greetings. The man whirls on you and gives a low growl. He growls out the growl for a few seconds and starts barking violently at you. In the distance, you can hear answering barks. Snarl back with your baring teeth. The man barking ends with a snarl and he leaps at you. This is how you want to die, Wolfman. Oh, he's getting fucked up. That's right, bitch. See the howls of more barking dogs down here. We barked at this guy. He stops mid-snarl and he reaches up to part the curtain of hair that covers his eyes. As his withered hand pulls away his dirty locks, several strange, hues-colored bugs fall from his hair and scatter across the cobbles. Behind the cloak of hair, the man's flesh is moon pale and creased with wrinkles. His thick, bushy eyebrows form a V as he stares at you. And might take the moon fly too. I'm gonna bark at him. Now you can respond to this guy and actually get some experience here, but talking to him and playing Dog Boy or Teen Wolf with him is basically going to land you some serious chaotic points. And I am going for serious lawful points, so we're going to ask him for some questions. The man nods his head eagerly, then claps his hands like a child. It's a spit with half blues oil. No, self your quest shut. At the end of this, he gives a long, warbling howl, cut short with a sharp bark. Look, calm down, motherfucker, before I split you in two. The man throws back his head and howls. As you cover your ears, the howl seems to grow into a shrieking, drilling into your head, slipping inside your ears, burrowing beneath your skin, and then crawling along inside the inside of your skull, and eating the shreds of your sanity. The sound is so unbearable you can't even muster the strength to speak. Well, that's one tree with a snap branch too many. Morday rolls his eyes. No sense in chatting with Xanosites, Chief. They're a barmy bunch. Xanosites? They're a faction who don't have any rules, except don't keep one thought in their head for too long. They're sometimes called Chaos Men. No need to explain why. How do they get members? They just seem to attract members like flies. Well, members that are crazy or chaotic enough, I suppose. I don't think they have any recruiters, but you really can't say anything about them for sure. I see. Thanks for the information. Alright, so anyways, that guy's a fucking Looney Tune. Oddly enough, the grill work appears to have been grown, not forged. And we're just going to continue to see if there's anything but fucking hookers here. There's a strange fellow and a black Abisha. And we just got demon dragons and shit wandering around town. Eli. Might have to come back and talk to him. Uh-oh. We got a high thug here. He is scared shitless, though. That's the one that attacked us earlier. And now it's time to finish him off. There's another starved dog, barking thug. We're going to have to kill this guy. Or he's going to have to kill me. Oops. I didn't mean to run away there, I promise. Run! Well, now that we're hurt, pretty badly, I might add. We're going to go rest and report to Sub Tai that we killed the barking dogs. And maybe get some daylight because it's kind of dark. I can't see shit. course, the nameless one heals completely because of his regeneration. Port Morte, though, different story. Alright, now we got some daylight. So we will return to the Dustman Memorial here.
People, sisters. You again.
I found the starved dogs barking. Penned 3 of them in the dead book.
The powers be not blind in their justice this day.
The woman reaches into her spider-like hair and draws forth a copper earring.
Here you are. A pretty bit it should fetch. This worth 33 coppers at least, I'm sure. Belonged to me or one of his sisters. She won't be needed it anymore.
Very well, goodbye. And we'll have Morty pick that up. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, copper earring. Wow, fucking A. We did that more for experience and goodness than anything. And we're going to return south now that we can see what the hell is going on. Stocked the moorings for trees. You see a tired-looking, sorrowful old man who is gazing at an ash-dead tree in front of him. He's mumbling to himself and tapping his chin as if trying to figure something out. Occasionally, he shakes his head sadly. Greetings. He seems momentarily startled as you interrupt his train of thought. He speaks in a calm, unhurried tone, but one full of sadness.
Oh, greetings to you, friend. How this day finds you?
Finds me well, you fucking depressing son of a bitch. He smiles, but sorrow still lies in his eyes.
That's good, friend. Hope your good fortune continues.
He seems about to turn back to the tree. And how's this day find you? He shrugs slightly and proffers a bit of a smile.
Fortune finds me well, though I'm saddened just the same.
Why's that? He pats the tree beside him.
It's the trees here, in the hive. They're dying, friend, and no one cares. Seeing the look on your face, he holds his hands up as if to silence you for a moment. It may not matter to some, but it's important to me. I feel it's a shame to see the last tatters of life and beauty in the ward left uncared for, to die. Can you understand that, friend?
Yes, it's a sad thing. He seems surprised and blurts out,
Really? Oh, I mean, wonderful. Perhaps you would...
He pauses and seems suddenly suspicious. He recomposes himself, speaking in his usual slow manner.
In any case, that's good. I suppose you have some questions for me now.
Yeah, I got some questions. I'm looking for a journal I've lost.
I can't recall seeing one anywhere. Where did you last remember having it?
I don't know. Why are all the trees dying?
Just look at your surrounding, friend. Can you imagine anything having an easy life here? And besides the wretched conditions, the Dabu rarely come to this part of Sigil.
Why is that?
The hive's a dangerous place, but that's not it. The Dabu have the lady watching over them, and no one's foolish enough to tangle with her. I suppose it's really all on account of Fel.
Who is Fel?
Fel? Oh well, friend. I'll just say he's the only Dabu that doesn't serve the lady. I don't know the whole dark of it, as they say, but he's shunned by his fellows and lives here alone, in the hive. He runs a tattoo parlor, but Moses Sigil is wary of the place.
Tell me about this tattoo parlor.
Fell's parlor is only a field building east of here. It is marked with his personal symbol, a white oval pierced by a lightning bolt. I've never been there myself, friend, but I understand it. The ability to turn images from his speech. You no doubt will speak in images, yes? Rebuses?
Yes, go on.
He nods. So he's somehow able to turn images from his speech into tattoos. And not just ordinary inklings either. I'm told there's magic about them and more than just in their making. I don't know much else about it though.
What are you doing here?
I'm wasting time, if anything, friend.
He sighs miserably. What do you mean?
It's a long story, not something the casual passerby wants to stand around for, I'm sure. Let's just say that any efforts I've made to rouse the people here, the actions have been ignored.
What is it you wanted the people to do?
I wanted them to...
He seems exasperated, frustrated at the loss for his words.
To care. Is that so much, friend?
He looks at you in earnest. Care about what? He pats the tree beside him.
The trees here in the hive. They're dying. Blah-biddy-blah, blah-biddy-blah, blah, blah, blah.
For the first time, the man seems genuinely happy, beaming. He explains.
It's difficult for anything to survive here. Just look around, see what I mean? I'm not sure if it's possible for trees to thrive here, even if they somehow were to get enough light and clean water.
Go on. He nods enthusiastically.
But if enough people care, really want them to live, I just know they'll survive. They'll turn green again and flourish.
You could be right.
I am right, I'm certain of it.
A sense of conviction surrounds him like an aura. He seems so unlike the man you first spoke to.
That's all I'd ask of you, friend. Just care for them, hope for the recovery. In time, should enough people want it, it will come to pass. Can you do that for me, friend?
Yes, I'll help you.
Excellent, my friend, excellent. I thank you. You've given me back my confidence and my purpose. Perhaps I can find others like you who will listen.
Morday, what do you think? Huh? Oh yeah, Chief, sure. Whatever you say. I'm serious, Morty. Can you make an effort? Morty looks at you for a while, silently, then nods. Yeah, I can. If it's that important to you, I'll do it. Thanks. Any change in the trees yet?
No, not yet, friend. I still have hope, though. I speak to people every day.
Alright, well, we gotta get more people to pray for the trees. Yeah, if you want to get some. Fucking retarded thugs. It's Barking Wilder. Greetings and salutations. Alright, we're going to talk to Barking Wilder again. I'm going to growl at him. The man frowns, but his eyebrows tilt upward in a reverse V, creating a bizarre expression. You have no idea how accomplished the facial expression. But it makes you uncomfortable watching the muscles beneath his face shift into a new pattern. You can't tell whether he's angry, curious, both, or neither.
Since can speak, command. Answers prefer the wood woman's heart.
A single kiss speaks a woman's heart, but a man's answer is what you would prefer. Very well then, but know this. My answer is a question, and an answer from you is what I would prefer. The man seems mesmerized by your voice. With every word you speak, a light flickers in his eyes.
Parking wilder, am I? I am. A wanting asking, eh? May you? You may.
I'm looking for a lost journal. Do you know where I might find one? He frowns, squints his eyes shut, then opens them back up. When he speaks again, his voice is level and straightforward. It's like a different, saner person speaking. The effect is eerie.
More than one lost, more than one must find. Each part of you had one, so more than one must you find.
He blinks and shakes his head for a moment, as if surprised at himself, and chuckles uneasily. Can you tell me where at least one of them is? He looks like he's about to object, then his left fist comes up and smacks him in the temple. He howls in response and suddenly stops blinking.
One is in the cupboard in your guest room in the hall of the senses. The other is on the walls of the tomb sealed deep beneath the city where the stones weep.
The others are... Before he can finish, his right fist comes up and smashes him in the face, causing him to yowl again. He blinks and shakes his head for a moment, as if surprised at himself, and smiles uneasily. The Hall of Sensatus, where is that? Barking Wilder holds up his hands. He doesn't seem to recall what he just said. You said there was one in a sarcophagus beneath the city. Where? He looks frightened for a moment, then points upward with a hopeful expression.
There?
He gulps. He doesn't seem to know, and for some reason, you believe him. Forget it. I'll find it on my own. Dipshit. Hey, hooker with the blue hair, how you doing? We love you long time. Talk to this individual. You see a thin man with stained clothes, a hooked nose, and two stubby horns jutting from his forehead. He is stumbling about and muttering to himself. He stinks of brine, vomit, and cheap wine. Greetings. The man squints blearily at you.
Was it you all?
Never mind, sorry to bother you. Fucking weirdo. Instead, we're gonna hit the bar. Right, there's a man burning. This isn't exactly my type of strip club, but hey. We'll go ahead and unmap everything here. Quite a lot of named individuals. And one in particular I'd like to speak with is Dak'kon. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanely angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic and strange shimmering blade strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you all right? He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes. Hail, traveler. His voice is quite somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail. The man meets your gaze, his eyes burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering you noticed before you spoke to him. Your eyes have the weight of one
who has traveled far to be in this place.
You could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from you.
I am known as Dak'kon.
The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time.
You are not known to me.
I do not know myself.
That is for the best in knowing yourself, for it would be little in the plains left worth knowing.
He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his cold black eyes.
I would know why you have come to this city.
I am looking for answers, and I have many questions.
Speak your questions, I will hear you.
Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you?
A Githzerai.
Githzerai?
A Githzerai is one of our people.
One of the people?
A Githzerai.
Yes, but what are the Githzerai exactly? Dak'kon is silent for a moment and speaks.
Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on time's blade before I recited a fraction of our history, of our people.
I don't need to know your history, but I would know of your people as they are now. Dak'kon is silent for a moment.
No, this and accepted an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting place of limbo.
With a deft motion, Dak'kon slips the blade from his back and holds it before him.
There, we mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge the cities with our thoughts.
As you watch, a series of rippling waves and metal begin to roll forth from the center of the table. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections of Dak'kon's voice.
In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are Githzerai.
What is the blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice.
It is Karash, blade. It is the object that lets others know the rank of the wielder.
Karash? What does that mean? Dak'kon follows silent for a moment as if searching for the correct words.
In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people shape it with their thoughts.
The people?
The Githzerai.
And you say the Githzerai can shape this Karash with their thoughts?
Karash is not shared by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and in its edge. When one knows himself, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak.
And what rank does the blade signify?
The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthimon. In knowing the words of Zerthimon, they know themselves.
Zerthimon?
Zerthimon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind.
I had some other questions. Do you know of a man named Farad? I'm told he knows something of me.
That one is not known to me.
Well, my journal. You don't know shit about my journal either? You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean?
All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves.
And if a man does not know himself?
When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed.
Dak'kon pauses.
It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hand will make broken.
Do you know of yourself? He falls silent. His coal black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. Do you know yourself? When Dak'kon speaks again, his voice has changed. His words echo like great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he is forcing the words from his chest. It is not my will that you know this. Perhaps I was being too kind, phrasing it as a question. Tell me. Or we could just leave him. Can you tell me about the city?
It is known by the name of Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself.
It doesn't know itself? What do you mean?
The city exists, but it does not know itself. It is knowing itself. Its existence as flawed.
How is it flawed?
The The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks a whole lot of other shit that I did not get to read.
But if the city is not flawed, Fangler does not need to be ordered and to have purpose to know itself. If these contradictions are strengths that you cannot see.
To your question, a question. But if the city is flawed and you can see its contradictions all around you?
To your question, a question. You claim the city's existence is flawed. You have accepted this rather than explored the possibility that something greater may exist. That suggests you are flawed, and that you do not search the knowledge, but only a convenient answer. Dak'kon files silence.
There is no knowing the answer to the questions we have asked, yet the city exists, that is all.
Yet I would maintain that we know ourselves by questions we ask, and the ones we do not. If we cease asking questions and accept only what we can perceive,
then we will cease to know ourselves.
Dak'kon's voice has changed slightly, becoming heavier. Such words have been
Spoken before. I have heard them and know them.
Where have you heard them?
The words are mine. Once I knew them and knew their meaning. I had forgotten them until you spoke.
Dak'kon's gaze travels through you, and his blade stops shimmering, bleeding of all colors until it is translucent. There is a moment of silence, then Dak'kon looks up at you.
I would travel the path with you.
I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine. Strangely enough,
his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well. Let us go with Dak'kon. Another pack mule. Dak'kon is a fighter mage. 17 strength, 13 intelligence, 13 wisdom, 16 dexterity, 16 constitution, and 13 fucking charisma. He's got an armor class of 2 and 33 hit points at this point. He's a level 3 fighter, 3 mage. And yes, that is his stats.
My past is not known to you. It is not my will that you should know it. Know that I bear the scars of one who has traveled the plains. Know that I have never rested long in any one place. Know that I bear the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place. Know that I am Githzerai. Know that I am the people of Zerathimon. It was Zerathimon that knew the Githzerai before we knew ourselves. He knew that we had come done to free us. From his knowing came action. From his knowing freedom was born. The Githzerai ceased to be slaves and became a people. Know that I followed the unbroken circle of Zerathimon. His words are known to me, his heart is known to me. All that remains is that I know myself.
And we'll be back with another video. Now, a party of 3.